Minglaba, welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. We've got the latest news and reports. As far as trade between countries is concerned, the novel coronavirus, COVID-19, brings a decline in trade. Transportation is a sector that plays a huge role in the development of a country, and so Yangon Elevated Expressway project is to be implemented with lesser social and environmental impact. And a story coverage on BarCamp Yangon 2020. We'll definitely get to the reports in a while, but before that, let's take a look at local news. Vice President Henry Zin arrived in Hakka, the capital city of Chin State, after leaving Thanglang Township Sunday morning. The Vice President and party inspected the construction of the Convocation Hall and the archway at the Hakka University and heard reports on the project, budget affairs, construction of Mindat Combined University, water and electricity supply to the university, and the needs at the Hakka University. The Vice President also looked into the drilling of underground water funded by the Ministry of Social Welfare, Relief and Resettlement with the machinery assistance of Gamboza Brighter Future Myanmar Foundation in Hakka. The Vice President then attended the opening ceremony of Midwifery Training School of the Department of Human Resources for Health under the Ministry of Health and Sports in Hakka and talked about the importance of midwifery training schools that can support healthcare services in Chin State. 59 students who were brought back to Myanmar from Wuhan, along with 3 other health officials who arranged their return, completed their 14-day quarantine at the Kandonadi Hospital in Mandalay and were allowed to return to their homes Sunday. Before returning home, the students and officials, who were all found to be in good health, met Union Minister for Health and Sports Dr. Mien Tui at the hospital. The Union Minister urged the students and officials to follow the medical instructions given by the ministry once they reach home and to immediately contact the health department if they start feeling unwell. The Union Minister said the mission to bring the students back to Myanmar was launched at the request of leaders from the state after the COVID-19 virus outbreak in Wuhan. A coordination meeting to accelerate the preparatory work for control and prevention of coronavirus disease was held at Mandalay General Hospital Saturday morning. Union Minister for the Ministry of Health and Sports, Dr. Mien Tui, explained how the heads of Mandalay hospitals, the professors, heads of departments of the Mandalay General Hospital, the specialized surgeons and health personnel should involve in the preventive measures being executed by the ministry according to the prevailing situation both in China and in some countries. The Union Minister said, "We should keep constant surveillance as many Chinese people are residing in Mandalay and its neighboring towns. The death rate is now soaring up to 2.8% and the transmission rate from the infected person is also high. So the control and preventive measures must be carried out in Mandalay and its adjacent towns as well as factories and workplaces." He also said, "We need to reinforce the measures being undertaken." The Department of Development for Border Areas and National Races is undertaking development programs in Sagaing Region's townships, Kamti, Binlebu, Leshi, and Nanyuan. A total of 18.3 billion kyats was used in the 2019 to 2020 fiscal year for construction and upgrading roads, bridges, education, healthcare, water supply, housing, and religious affairs. Assistant Director Unyi Sui said the funds were received from union budget, state budgets, and a grant from India. The union budgets were used for the construction of roads, bridges, 1 pipe culvert, 82 box culverts, 5 Bailey bridges, 1 school, 5 units of staff apartments, 2 water supply projects, 150 feet of earth retaining wall, and 3 fences. The grants from India are being used for road construction, 52 box culverts, 4 Bailey bridges, and 3 schools in the 2019 to 2020 fiscal year. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. Due to the outbreak of the novel coronavirus, trade volume between Myanmar and China has been declining dramatically from this month. As China is one of the most important trading partners for Myanmar, a decline in trade with China means a huge loss for the economy of Myanmar. Williamson will tell us what impacts COVID-19 outbreak brings to the businesses in Myanmar.
Myanmar shares a 1,348 miles long border with China and is doing business activities with the establishment of through 4 border trade zones border trade volume reached $2,099.421 million till 24 January in 2019-2020 financial years. Border trade volume through Musa border trade zone alone reached $1,717.954 million. There has been a decrease in border trade of China-Myanmar border since the coronavirus outbreak originated in Wuhan in China. As of February, marine products can be exported anymore through Qinshui-Hao border trade zone, but marine products can be exported just a little through Musa border trade zone. Utanai, Deputy Director of Fisheries Department.
There has been progress in export to China through Musa trade zone compared to that of the previous financial year. At present, export of eel is going to China through Musa trade zone, but it isn't going through Qinshui-Hao starting from February. Frozen fish is going to China too. Collected terms of raise are also going to Zhegang. These are kept in Zhegang. The situation of mainland China is being monitored. Export volume in January is on the increase, but starting from February, export isn't going to China through Qinshui-Hao, but Musa.
The coronavirus taking place in China cannot be controlled yet. Till 11 February morning, there are 1,013 deaths and 42,500 global infected cases, including Hong Kong and the Philippines. The situation hit global economy very hard. The spread of the virus is likely to have impact on bilateral trade and local merchants relying on trade with China. Ueton, chairman of Myanmar Fishery Products Processors and Exporters Association. There has been a decrease in bilateral trade activities at Musa border trade zone at present. The goods bought by Myanmar merchants in China can be carried because of the road closure. For that reason, trade activities to buy further import goods ran very slow, said Uwe Alkan, Joint General Secretary II of Musa Namkham Border Merchant Association.
China-Myanmar border trade is running so slow at present. Trade volume has decreased compared to that before Chinese New Year period last year. Now the items on our site can't export it to China yet, and import goods from China can go in, but apples and oranges are going in. A large number of watermelons are kept in Jinsanjot grounds. Chinese merchants already bought watermelons, but they can't carry them yet. According to the present circumstance, both export and import are not okay. Both of the merchants from Myanmar and China will have to suffer profit impacts as long as the virus doesn't stop.
Although the border trade has almost stopped due to the novel coronavirus, the news that the virus can be completely controlled is coming out. As a result of that, border trade will be likely to return to normal in a certain period, said Uaiton, chairman of Myanmar China Merchant Association, said.
If the outbreak of the coronavirus goes on like this, bilateral trade will be affected. I believe that the situation will be alright gradually. At the present time, the virus has effect on fruit industry, but if the governments of China and Myanmar work together, border trade will be smooth and secure. I don't think the virus will be likely to break out for long. China measures to fight against the coronavirus seem very encouraging. This is because Chinese government is providing its people with systematic management. In addition to the Chinese government, if the international community has found a cure for the virus, I think preventive measures against the virus will be successful before long.
That's a report on the novel coronavirus bringing a decline in trade. All right, now, We all know the world is faced with a global health crisis right now, the novel coronavirus that originated from the city of Wuhan in China. And to know the daily operations and what's happening over there, our team reached out to Huang Yue, a reporter from China Radio International, who's in Wuhan, and we're going to have a chat with her on the safety and continuous supplies on food and medical products in China. Let's hear what she has to say, and hopefully we'll get some accurate updates. So, Huang Yue, I'd like to dive right into the question of asking you how the situation of delivery services is during this outbreak. What can they do for the safety of food and products?
There are concerns about the safety of the delivery men during the outbreak, but for the people staying at home to avoid the infection of novel coronavirus, the delivery men have become the bridge between them and the outside world. I talked to a delivery man I encountered before in Wuhan. He told me he's still willing to work during this period of time because he wants to contribute his own strength. At the same time, they're taking all the necessary measures like disinfection, wearing masks, and taking body temperature to protect themselves as well as their clients.
Well, it seems there are still some people who go to work. Now, what about the situation at the supermarkets? Since authorities have advised refraining from going to public places, what is the comparison between the number of people going out to places like a supermarket at the start of the outbreak and now?
I went to one supermarket in Wuhan a couple of days ago. The market has changed its business hours. It used to open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, but now it opens from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. And the manager of the supermarket told me customers have been fewer than before, and once they come to the supermarket, they will buy more products, including food and other daily necessities, so that they don't have to go outdoor frequently.
All right, we understand there has been a change in business hours with fewer customers buying more items than they usually would, which brings me to our last question, focusing on that. Since the outbreak has been continuing for over a month now, people start to worry about a shortage of food or medical supply inside the country. So are there any measures taken to put a balance to this? Every customer buying more items for themselves, which, as silly as it sounds, might leave not much for the rest.
About the food supply, at the request of China's National Development and Reform Commission, some leading companies have resumed the production of some much-needed daily necessities during the Spring Festival holiday. The supply of grain, edible oil, vegetables, and other everyday necessities in both the coronavirus-hit city of Wuhan and elsewhere across China is adequate to meet the normal demand of the public. About the medical supplies, it's true that the hospitals are still in short of productive products, so Chinese authorities have reassured producers of key medical supplies that the government would be the ultimate buyer in a move to encourage production to contain the novel coronavirus outbreak. Such products initially include test kits, medical goggles, medical protective gear, and masks, as well as their raw materials. Figures from the country's top economic planner show that more than 76% of face mask production capacity in China's 22 provincial regions has resumed. Meanwhile, 77% of protective suit production has also been restored.
All right, thank you, Huang Yue. You've provided us with quite the details. That was Huang Yue, a reporter from China Radio International. We're back to our reports now, and we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates after this report. After announcing 10 pre-qualified bidders for the Yangon Elevated Expressway project Phase 1, the Ministry of Construction and the Yangon region government are doing public consultation events to raise awareness of the project. It is informed that the project will be accomplished by reducing the social and environmental impacts as much as possible. The ministry also said that they will solve any grievance addressed by the public. Yangon Zin reports.
The Ministry of Construction and Yangon region government are now implementing the first-ever elevated expressway project in Yangon and a public-private partnership PPP concession agreement, with the objectives of reducing the traffic congestion in Yangon, making north-south connectivity improve, and adding as a catalyst for growth and economic opportunities for surrounding industries and communities. The government regarded a 47.5-kilometer elevated four-lane ring road expressway project in Yangon as the top priority project. The whole project is comprised of phases, and the process of Phase 1 is currently being implemented. The Phase 1 of the project is to be constructed in 8 townships, passing from Upper Bazuna Road, Wezianda Road, Tudama Road, and the junction of Kayebin Road with Lower Mingladong Road. The scope of the project includes the design, financing, construction operation, and maintenance of the expressway and toll plazas through a 35-year PPP concession agreement. The PPP sponsor is to be selected through an international competitive tender, and the ministry announced 10 pre-qualified bidders for the project. According to the ministry, the project will be completed by reducing the social and environmental impacts as much as possible. The public perspectives are to be taken account of, and the public can redress any grievance. The public consultation events are being held in the townships involving in the project to raise awareness. Since the elevated expressway is to be constructed in the middle of the road, the original road will be extended to keep the road in the same width as the present.
Our first intention is to have no absolute social impact. If there will be negative impacts, we are to reduce them to be acceptable as much as possible. We have many mechanisms to solve the impact. For example, if the home shop is affected because of the road extension, we will consider it as the business of the whole family according to the safeguard policy of the World Bank. We have already had the different ways to solve different grievances.
Starting from 10 February to 10 March, the Social Business Census and the Detailed Measurement Survey for project-affected persons, project-affected households, and directly impacted stakeholders are to be done.
We want to know the feelings, suggestions, and grievances of the public so that we can find the way to solve it. The ministry will act as a representative of the public to report to the investor.
The processes of the project were presented to the Ludor representatives a month ago. We all are so enthusiastic and help in overcoming possible difficulties in the project. It has taken quite long to initiate the project because the government is making sure to have almost no mistakes to do within legal framework and to ensure the positive result. Both Ludor representatives and the citizens welcome this huge project.
The total length of the Phase 1 of the project is 27.6 kilometers. After a 3.5-year project, the Phase 1 is expected to be commissioned into service in May of 2025. This is Dora Susan reporting from MI Radio.
That's a report on Yangon Elevated Expressway project is to be implemented with lesser social and environmental impact. And now we have information on currency rates from Myanmar's central bank. $1 is at 1,446 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 207 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,567 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,885 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,040 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 349 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 46 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 20 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,582. Silver is at $17, and Brent crude oil is at $52. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI is at 11,500. MTSH dropped 50 and it's at 3,950. MCB is at 8,200. FPB went up 500 and it's at 23,000. TMH is at 2,900. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. If you want to watch or listen to more programs from our station, you can just visit our website, miradio.com.mm, or tune into 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. But of course, if you prefer to have it within your grasp, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. Search by typing Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio shows on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. Since IT has been playing a big role in every part of our lives, discussing it and sharing information about it is a crucial thing for everyone, especially for the millennials who are really into IT. BarCamp Yangon 2020 was held at MICT Conference Hall to provide everyone with all those IT information needs this last weekend. David Turner has more.
The name BarCamp is a playful allusion to the event's origins with reference to the programmer slang term FUBAR. BarCamp arose as an open-to-the-public alternative to FUCOM, which is an annual invitation-only participant-driven conference hosted by Tim O'Reilly. The first BarCamp was held in Palo Alto, California from 19 to 21st August in 2005. Since then, BarCamps have been held in over 350 cities around the world. Attendees have often traveled internationally to attend BarCamps. With that said, I have interviewed Uzozo Myolun, one of the representatives of BarCamp Yangon PR department, for what BarCamp really is.
BarCamp is an international network of user-generated conferences primarily focused on technology and the web. They are open, participatory workshop events, the content of which is provided by participants. The first BarCamp focused on early-stage web applications, which were related to open-source technologies, social software, and open data formats. The format is also used for a variety of other topics, including public transit, healthcare, education, and political organizing. The BarCamp format has also been adapted for specific industries like banking, education, real estate, and social media.
Uzozo also explained the format of BarCamp and what it is differs from other conferences.
Unlike traditional conference formats, BarCamps have a self-organizing character, relying on the passion and the responsibility of the participants. Attendees schedule sessions by writing on a whiteboard or putting a post-it note on a grid of sessions. These sessions given are discouraged from using the sessions for promotion. With that said, one thing we are proud of with BarCamp Yangon is that the largest recorded BarCamp took place in January 2013, with over 6,400 confirmed registered attendees. In Yangon, Myanmar, BarCamp Yangon has been backed by MCPA.
In the event, I have also interviewed Gosai Aka, who is the operations manager for Win Mobile World, for why Win Mobile has been supporting BarCamp until now.
IT industry ပေါ့နော် IT industry တခုလုံးကျွန်တော်တို့ငငယ်တုန်းကကျွန်တော်ကိုယ်တိုင်လည်းနီးပညာတက္ကသိုလ်ကျောင်းသားတစ်ယောက်ဖြစ်တယ်ပေါ့နော်ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ငငယ်တုန်းကနဲ့အခုနဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဟိုအရန်ဟိုပြောရမှာဆိုရင်အရန်ဟိုကွာဟွာသွားပြီပေါ့နော်အခုလက်ရှိကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီမှာရှိနေတဲ့လူငယ်တွေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကျွန်တော်တို့ထက်ကိုအများကြီးပို့ပြီးတော့ဟိုတိလာတာတွေပို့ပြီးတော့တက်လာတာတွေသူတို့ရဲ့အသိပညာ
As I was also an IT student, the difference between each generation regarding with information technology has been drastically changing, improving and evolving. Most of the things that we knew and studied about IT have been completely changed as the generation change. As of now, there is no going back for IT as well. As we all know, it will keep on thriving until the time comes for newer and much more innovative things. With all those being said, BarCamp is a crucial part for all of the people who love to know about IT and be updated and share their thoughts. As BarCamp doesn't really have a structure, timetable, or topics, it's so versatile for everyone to fit into the topics of what they want to discuss.
ကြိုက်တာပြောလို့ရတယ်ဟိုကြိုက်တဲ့အကြောင်းအရာကိုရွေးချယ်ပြီးနားထောင်လို့ရတယ်ဆိုတော့လူငယ်တွေအတွက်ကိုတကယ်ကိုအကျိုးရှိတဲ့အစီအစဉ်တစ်ခုလည်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဗျဟုတ်ကဲ့
Makin Chanda, Senior Student Recruitment Manager of Chindrin College, also told MR Radio for why is it crucial for this generation and why Chindrin College supports BarCamp.
It is obvious that every sector of every industry has been involved in IT. That's why IT has been such a crucial factor for mostly everything now. As BarCamp allows students and all sort of people to come and discuss and listen what the ever-updating and changing IT industry has to offer and how we can adapt it.
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on BarCamp Yangon 2020. Well, that's all the reports on Myanmar Today. Time is running short, so we'll move on to some international news on Myanmar Today. Zhao Zegang is the Deputy Chief Physician of the Emergency Center of Zhongnan Hospital of Wuhan University. On January 22nd, he was diagnosed with new coronavirus-infected pneumonia. Due to mild illness, after Zhao Zegang self-diagnosed and prescribed medicine, he volunteered to go home for isolation and treatment. On January 28th, he went through the mini-program of online consultation with the doctor's official Weibo, online consultation for fever patients. One day, online consultation can reach 200 people. He also analyzed each case. On February 5th, after 14 days of isolation treatment, Zhao Zegang was cured and returned to work. In the emergency center of Zhongnan Hospital of Wuhan University, there were 3 medical staff who were accidentally infected at work like Zhao Zegang. After they recovered, they returned to their respective jobs. International experts, including those from the World Health Organization, arrived in Beijing on Sunday and began meeting with their counterparts in China over the novel coronavirus pneumonia, the WHO said Sunday. One of the goals of the joint mission is to provide suggestions on the prevention and control of the coronavirus outbreak in China and globally. Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Take good care of your health and remember to wash your hands. Practice good hygiene and drink lots of water. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.